YouTube, what's up? Pewsily here via Alinthia Yo. Feel free to always rate, comment, subscribe if those things are still things. Another top with a different deck. I'm on a mission to top lots of different regionals with lots of different decks. So this is top number 2. This was 5th place at Worcester with Bujins, with no testing, and it went well. So I have 2 of these mats, and I hate them, but whatever. We'll just jump straight into the deck profile. So it's Bujins. It was all Therio. I didn't test the deck at all, not even online or anything. So I sort of looked at the build that topped Atlanta and got inspiration from that. So there's a modicum of net decking involved, sorry, but there are differences. So there is the obvious 3 Yamato and 2 Mikazuchi seems to be the thing at the moment. I'm not running Arasuda, A because of space, B because he's not that great right now. I think after the next set he's going to be amazing though. But my friends also challenged me to maybe do Bujin Dark World because it works. Like this discard is an effect and so is Arasuda. But yeah, these 5 are sort of your staple. This dude is just big and suiting Bujin Carnation is awesome. And obviously Yamato is the deck. So you got those 5. 2 Hair, which is the reason I wanted to run the deck. Hair is amazing. Like I didn't realise it to begin with that he stops destruction by battle as well. So he's like an out-to colossal fighter, and he's better than Turtle in pretty much every way. D-Prison is not so much of a thing right now, so he's awesome. You pretty much always want to send him to the graveyard turn 1. So next for your relics, you've got the 2 Turtle. He's still amazing for things like D-Prison, Compulse, and obviously anything that targets, so monster effects like Big Eye, or more relevantly at the moment is Silent Honours, but he's awesome. And they're pretty much standard as well, 1 Quillin, 1 Centipede. Because I'm actually maining Royal Decree, Centipede was sort of less of an issue, but he's there for any problem cards that you might encounter, so anything perhaps like Swords of Concealing Light, which does sort of come up, and obviously Quillin is your out to anything face up, so like a big monster is generally what you use him for. He killed a lot of Abyss leads this weekend, but they're just too good to not run at all. And being tutorable, you can see them anytime you want. You have the obvious 3 Crane. Because it's Crane, it's ridiculous. The interaction with Lance is awesome, because you can Lance. Your Yamato, for instance, will lose 800 and go to 1000. If you Crane, it then doubles the 1-8, so it goes to 3-6. So he's cool. Just sucks that he doesn't do it for the whole turn. But Honest does, so there's Honest. And then 3 Effect Veiler. I wanted to run 3 because I'm playing the Decree. I wanted some form of defense. I didn't really want to play the Decree build, but because I'd had absolutely no testing or anything at all like that, didn't really know what sort of trap lineup I'd want to do or how I'd want to play it. I figured the Decree build I could just be aggressive, and it's going to forgive misplays more as well, because I've got such a ridiculous card on the field stopping any Firefish traps and things like that. So Veiler was there for defense, and it combos obviously nicely with the Honest and the Cranes, so they're effectively monster traps is sort of how it's in. Just they're hand traps obviously, but yeah, the fact that they interact well with Decree is the reason I ran them. You have the obvious 3 Tenki. A surprising amount of the time you do Tenki for Mikazuchi. So like if you open with Tenki and Yamato, you can Tenki for Mikazuchi and just summon the Yamato into back row. And if they have any way of killing it, you've got the Mikazuchi to still use your hand traps. I do play 3 Duality. I've seen a lot of builds only play 2, which I really don't get, because, I mean, honestly, the amount of special summoning in Bujin is very, very low. If you have the option to special summon or use a Duality, it's generally not game-breaking to choose one way or the other, and being able to see the Yamato much quicker by seeing 9 cards in your first hand rather than just 6, it's just, I don't see why you wouldn't run 3. Consistency is key. You got 2 Bujin Carnation because the card's just ridiculous. It allows you to play really aggressive and not. You can play into a bottomless trap hole. So things like Traptrix Mermail are seeing a lot more play. So if they search a bottomless trap hole, you're happy to summon a Yamato into it if you open with the Bujin Carnation, because you know you're getting him back. You just need a relic to hit the grave. So 2 of those. I think 3 would clog. I then go with 3 Lance rather than 2, again because of the interaction with Royal Decree. If I have to search and dump a Hair with Yamato, I want something that's going to win my Yamato battle as well. So if I have Decree, Lance and Yamato, there's really nothing you're doing about it. 3 MST, basically to hit Tenkies. Any problem, spell or trap, but it just means that you can summon Yamato more safely. So 3 MST, 3 Lance, and 3 Decree. Back row's not staying around for long. I did have 3 Kaiser Colosseum, but 1 was being lent to me, so there's only 2 here, but there I was playing 3. I only drew it once all day, and it got MST'd immediately. It's an amazing card, but, you know, I didn't see it all day, so whatever. One-ofs. This is essentially any relic, so if you have Foolish Burial and a Yamato, this is essentially a Lance, because you can send Turtle or Hare, but it's just really good. And Book of Moon, again, because of Royal Decree. So I wanted defensive plays under Royal Decree. And then I was playing 3 of them, just because, you know, you want to see it. I would rather draw 2 than draw none at all, honestly. I think I would prefer to draw 2 than just 1, because if your opponent has the MST, then it's all good. So that's the main deck. It was 40. Onto the extra. I only played 2 Susanoo. I see a lot of people playing 3, with their reasoning behind it is like, 1 gets dealt with, 1 gets run over or warninged or whatever, and then you have the 3rd which goes through. But if you're playing Decree, that just doesn't happen. You summon 1 and you use it, and that's basically what happened all day. You summon a Susanoo and it stays there. And if you get a Susanoo and you get the search out, you win that duel. I don't think there was a single game where I got a search off of Susanoo and didn't win. So, yeah, in my opinion, you only need 2. 1 Kagasuchi, because you only really need 1. Between him and Hare, you have so much destruction prevention, it's ridiculous, and he gets very big very quickly. And again, being a beast warrior like Susanoo, Yamato, and Mikazuchi can trigger your relics, and milling the relics is always good as well. So because you've got quite a high monster count, you're quite likely to hit something and make him slightly bigger. And he obviously gets a boost from Tenki as well, which is awesome. And then 1 Tsukiyomi, just for the off chance that I'd want to go into it. I never did, but there are some niche uses for him. But he's the worst one. There's 1 Tiger King, because the skill drain bit can be really good. Searching a Tenki can be really good. Other than that, in my opinion, he's just too small. But the skill drain bit's what you use him for. 1 Exoton Knight, because he's busted. 1 Diamond Direwolf, just because sometimes you need spot outs to problem cards. Because he's Earth, he is an out to Light Imprisoning Mirror as well, whereas Exoton Knight isn't because it's light. 1 Steel Swarm Roach for Hieratic Rulers. You know, it's but you kind of need it because it's a slower deck. You can afford to grind with the Roach. 1 Silent Honor Arc, because the thing's busted. 1 Omega, because it's pretty good against Fire Fist, because he's 2-4, and you just swing, and they can't target him, and you just keep swinging, and you just keep swinging. And that basically what we do. I mean, Kagasuchi is pretty similar, but yeah. 1 Black Ship of Corn actually went in for the mirror match because it doesn't destroy, it sends. So if my opponent sent a Hare rather than a Turtle to the graveyard, you can go into Black Ship and send it. And it's an out to Zen mains and Maestro and, you know, those generic things. It's just a really good card. And then there's 1 Paladynamo, because there are just some things that he is better to go in for, making some things attack 0. He pretty much guarantees you 2,000 damage if you had to go into it. There's 1 Gem like Pearl. In my opinion, it was that or Crazy Box because of skill drain. But I figured I've got Quillin and Centipede and 3 MSTs and 3 Lances and 3 Royal Decrees. So skill drain isn't going to be much of a thing, whereas Gem Knight is generically going to be big if I didn't want to go into Kagasuchi. And then rounding it off with the 1 Abyss Dweller, 1 Cowboy. Cowboy's always good, and Abyss Dweller is amazing for Mermails at the moment, and for the mirror match as well. But problem is he's 17, so they can summon a relic and crash with it. So there we are, there's that. The matchups for the day. Round 1, I went against Mermail. We went into time in game 3. I summoned a Susanoo and was going to swing over everything he had for game, but he had 1 set card, no cards in hand, and it was Ixie's Encore. So that sucked. Then round 2 was Ghostricks, so I won because it was Ghostricks. Round 3 was Inzektors. I went first and opened Yamato, so I won game 1. Game 2, I sacked the hell out of him and had like Maxi, Velo, DD, Crow, and Book of Moon, so there's like nothing he was going to do. Round 3 was... Oh, that was round 3. Round 4, sorry, was... Madolche OTK, so he's running the Spell Striker sort of version. I won game 1 because I know how to use Veiler. He won game 2 because I opened like triple Veiler and double Crane, I think. And then game 3, I went first and had a Yamato, and his hand wasn't too strong. Round 5 then was Fire Fist. Game 1, I opened Decree, he scooped. Game 2, he ground it out and won. Game 3, I ground it out and won. Round 6 was the Bujin Mirror. I don't want to be mean, but the guy was terrible, so I won. And then round 7, the final round of Swiss, because they didn't do a top cut. I was against Harpies. I exitoned for massive advantage game 1. Opened terrible game 2, and he won. Then game 3 went into time, and I ended up higher in life. So went 6-1, came 5th. And yeah, it was all good. So yeah, the Bujins. Yay.